What's up, guys? So did anything big happen in the pro wrestling world over the last 24 hours? Of course, something massive happened, and it happened on the Blue Brand SmackDown just last night. Tiffany Stratton officially signs with the Blue Brand, with SmackDown, officially on the main roster. No, that's not it. Well, BC's a big Tiffany supporter, so that was pretty big for BC. Oh, I know. I know what the whole wrestling world's talking about. Bayley officially challenging Io for Io's title at WrestleMania. Damage Control finally attacking Bayley. The divide is official. That's not it. No. That's not it at all. No. All kidding aside, the pro wrestling world is currently in meltdown mode. I mean, absolutely imploding. And BC is sitting back watching it all burn. What in the world? How did we get to this point? Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock, Paul Levesque McMahon. This all started a year ago. This is not just this week or this weekend. This is one of those, I had to get a fresh coffee from the Monster 5000 coffee maker behind me. This is one of those discussions that I'm going to need a full coffee because it has to be an amplified discussion. It has to be in depth. There has to be just brutal honesty in this discussion. And the cool thing is, this is as honest as you're going to get, because if you've been following this channel, and if you're new, welcome. If you're a veteran subscriber, salute. You guys know what BC's about to say. I'm both things right now that's at the center of the the implosion. I am a Cody supporter, big time. I've just always supported Cody, even back in Legacy when he was in the shadow of Randy Orton, but really being brought up, learning from Randy. And then what he's been able to do and go off on his own and be the executive in AEW and then gamble on himself because he knew he had unfinished business in WWE. And I was the one, big time, probably more than anybody else, that was yelling from a mountaintop at 39 last year. It's Cody or bust. Cody has to win the title. Of course, I was a little biased. I'm a big Cody supporter. But I also knew that that's what the story entailed. Finish the story, can't wait another year or 5 years. This isn't about long-term storytelling. And even if you do wait till 40, you better be flawless in how you tell a story for an entire year if you don't give Cody it at 39. But I was yelling from the mountaintops. It's Cody or bust. Big Cody supporter right here. And at the same time, as much as this may contradict itself, I am a huge advocate for Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Because for BC, and I know many others, that is a true, legit dream match that we've been waiting years for. So that's what I mean when I say you're going to get an honest discussion. And by the way, much respect no matter which side of the fence you're on. If you think that it has to be Cody and Roman or Rock and Roman's the best for business and what you want to see more of, much respect either which way. But BC's going to call it right down the middle because I dab on both sides of that fence. I'm a big Cody supporter, and I want to see Rock and Roman. So you're thinking, well, BC, man, after last night, how are you feeling about it? Well, the cold open in yesterday's SmackDown review, I spent the first 15 minutes talking about it. And I talked about how pumped I am to see Rock and Roman. Because I don't look like a lot of the wrestling community does at The Rock and just see part-timer. Now, I put more respect on the dude's name because I know what he established for pro wrestling at a time when especially WWE needed somebody like The Rock to step up. Without people like The Rock, the Attitude Era never was what it was. Because everybody played a pivotal part, from a Stone Cold to a Triple H to an Undertaker to even a Kane to a Kurt Angle to even the who was it? Val Venus. I had the image first. I couldn't get the name. Val Venus, even from a Baba Holly. Baba Holly to Mankind to China. Everybody, Billy Gunn. Everybody played a pivotal role in the Attitude Era, and The Rock just happened to be one of the biggest. So to look at this dude still looking like that, still wanting to do this, I can't just label him a part-timer and throw him to the side. Oh, put that match at 5 a.m. at Elimination Chamber. That has no business anywhere else. If anybody isn't up and awake at 5 a.m., they can watch it on demand. They can watch it on replay. Anytime during the week, it'll be on Peacock. I can't look at The Rock. That's stupid business, first of all. And you got to remember, as much as we're fans, this is still a business. You're not stuffing The Rock at 5 a.m. anywhere just because they're in Australia and the government would really like a big match. That's absolutely asinine. So no, you're not going to hear words like, oh, another part-timer taking a main event spot. This is The Rock. We can't just talk about the dude like he's Brooklyn Brawler or Barry Horowitz or Tozawa. We can't just talk about this guy like he's Aldo Montoya. This is The Rock and Roman Reigns in a match that a lot of people want to see because the storyline writes itself. He's the actual head of the table, right? He paved his way in a path to which no other wrestler has gained that type of success and has fed his family, put food on that table for generations to come. The real provider of the entire family. The real dude that sits at the head of the table. And when he left, Roman Reigns entered this delusional way of thinking. I'm the provider. I'm the head of the table. It's me. I won't even acknowledge my cousin, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I'm the one. And then he starts to get even more paranoid, right? As his character develops even further, Roman Reigns is not just delusional, he's paranoid, he's truly thinking that he is at the head of the table. Like Dwayne doesn't even exist, and Dwayne keeps his mouth shut for years until finally he doesn't. And he shows up for his family because a lot of his family said something has to be done. Joe's dome piece is too far up in the clouds. So yeah, for a lot of us, they didn't even have to speak on Friday night. We already know the story. Now you just take it through the stratosphere. But that's not the discussion though, right? There was a lot of good talking points. A lot of people saying, BC, it ain't even about The Rock and Roman. I can do that. I mean, that's a mega match. No matter what anybody says and calls him a part-timer, it's a mega match. Dream match to so many. BC, it's how Cody was done filthy, right? I say filthy. They said done dirty. I say done filthy. They say, well, BC, wasn't he buried last night? I say absolutely not. Last night? No. Done dirty or filthy last night? No. He was done dirty and done filthy a year ago when Levesque McMahon called the audible. And it was a very last-minute decision when they said, you know what? We're going to keep it on Roman. Or at least that's what the word is, that Levesque McMahon made that decision last minute. I still think there's a lot of animosity there from the sledgehammer in AEW that Cody put to the throne, symbolizing Triple H. I still think that hasn't left Paul Levesque McMahon. So I don't know how last minute that was. And then at the press conference after Mania, the media scrum, Levesque McMahon knew that he had sucked the air completely out of that stadium and everybody at home, how many people were pissed off from that decision. He knew how many people were pissed off. And he says in the media scrum, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. He knew he got it wrong. That's when Cody didn't hoist up that title at a time where he needed to. It was Cody or bust, man. The title had to come off of Roman. There was nobody better at the time than Cody. The atmosphere, the electricity was at an all-time high that you don't get usually at Mania. It's once in a blue moon. Maybe 2 or 3 times in the past 38 years beforehand did you get that moment. One of them was with The Rock, with Hulk Hogan at 18. The other one, oddly enough, ironically, same stadium, Toronto, I believe, WrestleMania 6, Hogan and Warrior had that type of atmosphere. And maybe there was another time or two, maybe. You don't get that often. And instead of hoisting up that title, Cody Rhodes laid down next to a rubber chicken looking up at the lights after being defeated. That solo spike to Cody Rhodes, Roman, that visual of Roman pinning Cody Rhodes, 1, 2, 3. That image, that just doesn't go away. That, what a lot of fans are feeling after last night, that's what a lot of us, Cody supporters, that's what we spent the whole last year with that image, Roman Reigns, because there was a sector of fans that said, Cody cannot win it. Now that I think about it, now that we think about it, Cody shouldn't win it yet. He needs more struggle and adversity. Let's have Roman keep the title for another year. They thought that was a good idea. And I don't know what their plan was. You're going to revisit this in a year. You think WWE is going to book Cody Rhodes flawlessly for another year straight? They haven't shown you they could do that in over 10 years. Doesn't matter if HHH is in charge or not. And what happened when he laid down next to that rubber chicken is even Cody supporters said, whoop, well, that just screwed everything up. Not buried, but absolutely destroyed. You're going to have to spend the next year. Forget booking him all the way to WrestleMania 40 to get the same title match. Forget that. Smart fans like BC, we knew this wasn't about that. You're just going to have to pick up the pieces of what was left from Cody Rhodes at 39. That's how devastating of a call that was at 39 to have that man lose flat on his back. The rubber chicken that got thrown in the ring next to him, that was symbolic for what exactly happened to Cody Rhodes. That was symbolic for what was to come. Because for the next year, if you're a true Cody supporter, you knew you were just hoping this guy gets booked properly. Because knowing this company, they're just going to have him be the poster guy, right? Smile all the time, do the make-a-wishes. We'll put you on the cover of 2K Sports, put you on the side of the trailer. You'll be on the marquee signatures. You'll be on all the programs at the live events. You can be like the John Cena, but we won't book you exactly the same way. We'll get you to the mountaintop. We won't let you stand on the mountaintop. We were hoping that he just gets booked properly. Everybody else that claimed he needed struggle and adversity before he wins the title, they were already anointing him champion at WrestleMania 40. I was the first one to break the news to you guys. Hold up, I'm hearing that they want Roman Reigns to break Hulk Hogan's 1474-day record. I was the first one to ever even talk about that many months ago, before it was a thing in the community. My veteran subscribers will tell any newbies that's exactly what we discussed when nobody else was talking about that, because I was hearing down at the Performance Center from my people that was word around the campfire. And it was enough talk, enough what I felt reputable substance to the conversation that I felt it was time to tell my unit exactly what I was hearing. Roman's walking right into WrestleMania 40 and walking out with that title because they want him taking Hulk Hogan's 1474. And now you're starting to see Hulk Hogan come back. You're starting to hear about the 40 years ago of being a champion, right? 40-year anniversary when he beat the Iron Sheik and he held the championship for 1474. You're starting to hear a lot more. You're starting to see a lot more. Everybody else had Cody Rhodes anointed as the champion at 40. I said, hold on. First of all, it looks like they want Roman to beat Hogan's record, so Cody would still end up losing at 40, even if he was in the match for a second time. And number two, you guys are already booking Cody flawlessly to get the 40. You don't know WWE then. We're just got to hope that they book him properly. Just properly. Forget flawlessly. Properly. And of course they didn't. Because they made this supposed audible, Brock Lesnar attacks Cody Rhodes the night after Mania 39. The reason would have been he's the new champion. And of course, Brock couldn't take out Roman anymore. That was a stipulation in their last match. If Roman wins, Brock cannot get another title shot. So the second Cody gets the title, Brock is on him like a shark in water. But they didn't give Cody the championship. But they still had Brock attack Cody. So now it just looks like there's no reason, right? There's no reason for Brock to attack Cody. And then for the next 3 months through the summer into SummerSlam, they had a supposed feud. There's just one problem. It was never a feud. Because you would need a purpose. There would have to be a reason to the storyline. Michael Cole asked 3 times on commentary. Asked 3 times. We're still trying to find out what the story is. What is the reason why Brock is doing this? 3 separate times. We were asking it every single show. Every show. And when it was all said and done, if you guys are wondering, because, fans were like, oh, we'll find out. Be patient. Let it play out, guys. Just enjoy wrestling, right? We were being told all the cliche phrases that fans like to tell us when we're just asking questions. And so we go into SummerSlam, and that's the final match. We know that Brock's going back to the farm I don't know what Brock's doing on the farm. Playing with pigs, riding horses, milking cows. I don't know. Brock goes back to the farmland. And by the way, at SummerSlam, right, the whole summer, Brock was breaking Cody's arm, right? He was selling this arm injury the entire summer. And then at the very last match, SummerSlam, he just hugs Cody. He went into business for himself, BC, and that was not planned. And that's true. HH8 said that's not what we told him to do. Okay, but it still didn't make sense. You attack this dude, you break his arm 3 times, and then you just hug him. So the story never had a reason anyway, so it was never actually a story or a feud. And then when it was all said and done, they just hugged it out. The whole thing was a waste. Then they put Cody with Judgment Day for the rest of the year. 70 matches, if you guys are wondering. Over 60 W's for Cody Rhodes out of his 90-plus victories out of 2023. That's a real statistic. He had like 94, 95 victories, and 60 some odd were over Judgment Day. So when people claim struggle in adversity, what struggle was in defeating Brock Lesnar or being in this meaningless feud? Where was the actual adversity? Just because it's Brock? You still have to do it correctly. You still have to book it properly. Where's the adversity with the whole Brock Lesnar? Where's the struggle with the Judgment Day? If that's the case, everybody did. Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn took on the Judgment Day 155,000 times last year. Slight exaggeration. Cody Rhodes was just another spoke on the wheel to take on the Judgment Day 8 billion times. And then when it was all said and done, right? Because you didn't hear from anybody the entire year. Everybody that claimed they needed more struggle and adversity from Cody, you didn't hear a peep from them. Rumble comes around, and everybody starts popping up out of the woodwork, right? And you're like, oh no, not now. You were silent the whole year. You let this thing play out. You didn't say a damn thing about how bad it is. And now all of a sudden, you're going to pop up from the woodwork and say that Cody has to finish his story. Everybody popping up. It's like whack-a-mole. You're trying to fucking stuff them back down. No, don't you talk about the damn story now. We did not talk about the story for an entire year. Roman and Cody never crossed paths. I think one time on a Raw, maybe, or a SmackDown. And it was brief and it led to something totally off base. That was it. Other than that, they never even crossed paths. Cody barely mentioned his damn story. He was tired of it. Everybody else was making it a meme and making fun of it. Everybody that came in had their own story now. Cody didn't even want to talk about it. So now WrestleMania comes around. Now, mind you, this is all being discussed truthfully as a Cody supporter, not a bandwagon, not somebody who's just claiming it. Any veteran subscriber will tell you. Huge Cody supporter. Screamed from the mountaintop, Cody or bust at 39. I'm that dude. But to come out now and say, it's gotta be Cody finishing his story now, that's the only way this works, I would ask anybody that thinks that's the case, do you not at least understand why that's not fun for a lot of us fans? Why that's not the best story for us anymore? Do you understand? And this is from a Cody supporter for the 18th time. As a Cody supporter, why Cody just saying, finish my story, those words are back now that it's Royal Rumble. Just saying that. And all of a sudden, we're supposed to go, all right, let's run it back and do the same match from last year, and let's see if Cody gets the title. Do you understand why that's not fun for us? When he laid down next to that rubber chicken, you're asking us a year later to try to have that same feeling. It's not going to happen. I tried to tell everybody that. Nobody wanted to struggle in adversity, basis. Keep it on Roman basis. It'll be fine. We'll revisit this in a year, man. Well, here we are. We revisited it. And I told you guys, a lot happens in a year. New wrestlers get signed. Other wrestlers get some momentum, right? LA Knight, momentum. Some wrestlers come back like CM Punk. And then you just have larger-than-life dudes. Box office gold personified like The Rock that actually wants to wrestle at Mania for the 40th anniversary. You're going to get a whole lot of everything in that bag leading up to Mania. And everybody was just booking full years in advance. Everybody has their little podcasts and they have their little shows and they're booking years of WWE, not thinking, wait, WWE still has to, I don't know, sign off on all this? There's people booking for years. We'll have Cody lose, and then we'll book Cody like this the whole year. We'll build it up big, and then we'll run it back at 40, not thinking, hey, maybe there'll be a different story that's more captivating. No, we're not even going to acknowledge that. Because they were probably thinking, we'll book the story so badass, by the time we get to 40, everybody's going to want to see Cody versus Roman. But that's not what happened. So now we're just going through the motions. Most people that are bitching and complaining, they don't even have a desire to see Cody versus Roman. They're just literally, and I, as a Cody supporter, I can tell you this with full authenticity. They are just going through the motions at this point. They're going by what is they're regurgitating what is being infiltrated to them by other podcasters, by other shows, and they're just regurgitating that information. They just literally are, it's become like the thing that has to happen, right? It's just this, it can't be any other way. It has to be, otherwise the whole last year is for nothing. We were trying to tell you the whole last year was for nothing. The second he lost at 39, it was done. And you were talking about 40 playoffs. Playoffs? We're just trying to win a game. It's the old interview by Coach Mora in the NFL for the playoffs, or going into the play, and he's asked about the playoffs, and he's beside himself. You're talking about playoffs? We're trying to win a game. You're talking about Cody Rhodes winning the championship at 40. You just better hope he's booked properly. We tried to tell everybody. I haven't even taken a sip, but I mean, that's how much needs to be discussed. Let me take a swig of this, because now we're going to get to the question that's being raised in the community, or some people putting it as factual statement. Cody was buried last night. Cody was buried last night. We're throwing around the buried word, and you just don't know what it means. Do you understand Cody is only going to get bigger from this? The reaction, the reception, Cody Rhodes is a massive winner from this. That's not being buried, I assure you. Cody Rhodes. Do you understand how many people who are not even Cody supporters are going to bat for this dude? Going to bat for this dude. He's only going to get bigger from this. You do realize how this works, right? I mean, there's movements for Cody Rhodes right now. There's movements against The Rock and even HHH right now. And false reports don't help that, right? Melty Boy puts up a fake report saying that The Rock was pushing hard for this. This was about 4 minutes after the segment went off the air, the show went off the air. But everything before that, Melty Boy was talking about how Cody and Roman is happening for Mania. But later in the year, Rock and Roman is happening. And then right after the show, Melty Boy totally changes it to it. All of a sudden, he has an insider with insider information. It was The Rock. He gets incentives with this new board deal and this and that. And so it was The Rock that overrided everything that HHH wanted to do. So, of course, now The Rock is going to be piled up on even more when I have not been able to get one backup source to validate what Melty is saying. Just so you guys know, that's how we know that is not a true report. Melty Boy cannot even have a backup source to be verified. So, just so you guys know, that's what we call a BS report in the business. And that's just to be the first one to get some clicks or views or whatever Melty Boy platform-wise is on. That is not a report that we've been able to validate with even one more source. So take that with a grain of salt, because everybody took that story. They're running with it. Oh my God, The Rock! I knew it was The Rock! I mean, people have turned on The Rock like that, bro. And saying that he and he alone took Cody's spot. And guys, the big question here, as a, I gotta say it for the 25th time, as a Cody supporter, if you're asking the question, how much fun and how intriguing was Cody versus Roman going to be for a lot of us, it just was not going to be. They didn't do it right. Guys, they didn't do anything to build to Cody versus Roman Part 2. Nothing. He wins the Rumble. He points up at the sign and at Roman. That's it. And now what? Now you're going to put them together and they're going to start going full throttle with their promos. Everything that we saw already, by the way, for WrestleMania 39. We already know what they're going to say to one another. So what are you adding on to just the he's got to finish his story? At this point, Rock and Roman didn't even have to speak a word, and a lot of people see that as a more fun match, more intriguing. They've never seen it before, first of all, and second of all, this is a storyline that's been basically their entire lives, Rock and Roman, and years for the fans, for most of us. So yeah. My question to so many people is, don't you at least see where a lot of us are coming from, even Cody supporters? How that is not a WrestleMania main event for us this year, Cody versus Roman. It's not, especially because Roman is not losing the title, it looks like. Now, there's a report saying also that Rock is pushing to win the title. Again, I've yet to see any verification on that report. It was literally the one word. And that report was written. One word, one person supposedly has this inside information. And guess what? It has not been validated. You guys seeing a trend here? Everything that's coming out about The Rock, supposedly, nothing's been validated. Nothing's been verified by a second source. You guys seeing what's happening? That's the problem. Nothing's verified. And the show just went off the air last night. Everyone's just trying to be the first one. Everyone's trying to control the narrative. Cody Rhodes, I don't think was ever in line to win this championship at 40. I truly believe Roman is supposed to take Hulk Hogan's record of 1474. I think that's the plan. I don't think HHH ever wanted to give Cody the actual spot on the mountaintop. He wants him close around the top of the mountain. He wants him around there. Makes him look good too. But he didn't forget about that throne and that sledgehammer to the throne. He didn't forget about the things said about him and how Cody felt about him. And he does not want Roman Reigns defeated HHH at WrestleMania. HHH wanted that for Cody Rhodes. I couldn't beat Roman. Ain't no way I'm having you beat Roman. And now he finds himself in a situation where a lot of fans are saying, yeah, it's got to happen again, though, and this time he's got to beat him. No, I said no the first time. I'm saying no now. HHH is very good buddies with The Rock. This narrative that The Rock is just overriding everything HHH does. When does it end? When does it end? You know, the Paul Levesque McMahon defenders are hilarious, but it's also sad. They never have him take responsibility for anything. He's a grown-ass man. And Vince McMahon supposedly just spanked his ass on every decision. And he just took it. And you know what the fans said? The supporters, the defenders of Levesque McMahon, they said, well, what's he supposed to do, man? He's not going to lose his job. You could be working at McDonald's for minimum wage, not have a dime in the bank account. Have 4 kids at home. You don't know how you're going to feed your family. But if your boss is treating you like that and overriding you and not respecting you, you would finally have enough to say, I'm out of here. I don't know how I'm going to get that food on the table. I don't know how I'm going to cash a check every week. But this, I cannot do this. This breaks every fiber of respect and self-dignity that I have for myself. Any type of pride or moral compass, there is no way I can show up to work and do this to myself. Nobody would ask me to do that. I wouldn't ask that of myself. I'm out of here if my boss treats me like that. But for some reason, we treat millionaires differently. Paul Levesque McMahon only has $20 million in the bank, basically. He's not, and his wife is the boss's daughter. She only has about $10 million in the bank. There's no way he can walk away now, basically. There's no way, man. He's not gonna lose his job. Shane McMahon walked away 4 times. Stephanie McMahon walked away 3 times, twice in the last, year and a half? Walked away. Linda McMahon said, peace, deuces, ooses. The entire family has walked away. Come back, walk away maybe again. Yeah, but they've walked away. Shane McMahon went and started his own business, successfully, by the way. Sold it, got millions of dollars on his own accord. How cool is that? The one McMahon, through marriage, Paul Levesque, is the only one that's never walked away. And we treat him like he's held captive, like he's in a damn prison. Well, he's not going to walk away based on from his job, so he's got to do what Vince tells him to do. To a point, and then you say, no, you either respect my decisions and what I have to offer, or I'm out of here, bro. Wouldn't you do that at any freaking job? Why are we treating millionaires differently? So then McMahon's gone, right? And I mean, he's got he's in some heavy waters right now. So now we're saying, there's nothing he could do. The Rock overrode him, basically. That's what we're hearing now from Meltzy. The Rock is pushing, and basically he's on the board. Triple H is his bitch. I mean, poor Triple H. BC, can you believe it's happening again? H's hands are tied. Okay, now you're okay, if this is happening again, then he's really out, right? H is gone. You wouldn't have this happen again, right? And this is his good buddy, by the way. They're good friends. His old friend is going to kick him to the curb and override him. Now he's really going to leave, right? You're going to have some type of self-dignity and respect. No, you're telling me, nope, he's staying. And you're going to defend him more. But you see, he's not going to lose his job, man. But you said that about Vince when he was spanking his ass. Yeah, but I mean, now it's people, what do you want him to do, BC? He's not going to lose his job, man. He's only got 20, 30 million in the bank. How's he going to live on that? BC, he can't get another job. Levesque McMahon's going to be in an employment line, man. Unemployment. Where does it end? If Stephanie comes back, you know damn well she's going to override him on a lot of things, supposedly. That's what we're going to hear left and right out of Melty, right? And everybody will go, what's he going to do? I mean, that's his wife. I mean, of course. That's a legit McMahon. So BC, I mean, of course. I mean, what's he going to do? He's not going to walk away. That's his wife. He's not going to lose his job, BC. Where does it end? You guys are okay with everybody spanking Levesque McMahon's ass. They're spanking his ass. They're overriding him. They don't take him seriously. They're fucking walking all over him. And this dude's just like, okay, I'll just go get you guys coffee. And everyone defends it. Wouldn't at some point, if you're truly supporting somebody and backing them, wouldn't you finally say, dude, it's time to stand up for yourself? And I'll say the same for Cody Rhodes, who I'm a supporter of and I back. If this keeps happening and you notice that HHH just is not giving you that spot at the mountaintop, the tippity top for Tiffany Stratton, if you notice after a while that you really think you've earned it and he's not putting you there, stand up. Speak out. I notice you're bringing me around the mountaintop. I appreciate that big time, Paul. But I also notice that you're not putting me on the mountaintop. Stand up for yourself. Absolutely. But for this to be the big meltdown in the wrestling world, what I would ask is please go back to where it began. This didn't just happen last night. I wish more people were vocal about how it went down at Mania 39. Even if you felt that he needs to lose for more struggle and adversity for an entire another year, which is still to this day asinine to me. But even if you felt he needed to lose, you know damn well that's not the way to do that. You know the air was sucked out of that stadium, and everybody watching at home or in the bar or anywhere, you knew that was just the wrong call, or at least the way it was done. And then you also know that the whole year afterwards, it was absolutely atrocious booking. Judgment Day the entire year, a weird thing with Brock that still to this day never had a purpose or a reason. And then, just around Rumble time, we start to hear some rumblings about Cody and Roman Part 2. You know we should have done it a lot better if we were going to do a Part 2. So I wish these same people had the same energy throughout all of 2023. From the time Cody lost that match, throughout the whole miserable mid-AF booking that was handed down to Cody, not a peep from anybody. Nobody was raising concern. Nobody was talking about the main event for 40. Nobody until Rumble, and then everybody came out of the woodwork like whack-a-mole, and you just want to stuff them back down because you don't want to hear it at that point. But everybody's got something to say, right? It's got to be Cody, right? Cody's got to win. Cody Roman. Cody's got to finish the story. Did you hear? Cody's got to finish the story. Says who? How is that fun? It's not even a story anymore. The story is just the words. I got to finish the story. Monday night. There wasn't even this outrage on Monday. I was the one. As a Cody supporter, I was raising the biggest concern on Monday. Nobody else was raising concern. Everybody else was like, well, everything Seth said was actually accurate. This is a nice little swerve. And then on Friday, just have Cody pick Roman. I don't mind this. And BC's over here like, wait. This just took away everything that everybody was saying was left of this story. That he had this burning desire, he just wasn't outwardly saying it, right? He was purposely not trying to mention Roman for an entire year. But this has been burning, and he finally has the opportunity. He won the Rumble. And then Monday night, Seth Rollins cuts a 4-minute promo, and Cody is like, good point, Seth, I'm going to think about it, man. Right there, having Cody doubt his own story, that was all the story was based on for an entire year, his damn story. And to have him question it right before Mania was stupid. It's not a burning desire then. You don't even know which title you want to go with. You don't even have the confidence to make a decision. You got to wait till Friday. All of it didn't play well. It didn't sit well with people like BC. Because we want common sense and logic to be intertwined in the story being told. We'll go through the highs and lows. There'll be ups, there'll be downs, there'll be goods, there'll be bads. Successes and failures within the story. But just have some damn consistency. Nothing happened between Cody and Roman for an entire year, basically. And then Cody questions his own story, and still nobody was raising any concern. Nobody was raising that alarm. They were just like, all right, don't worry. Eventually he'll pick Roman, and then we'll be off to the races. We can finally have this match, and Cody will hoist up his title. That's not fun WrestleMania main eventing. That's not a fun WrestleMania match, period, if we're just going through the motions just to get something done. And that's what fans have been doing. We're just saying outlandish things like just get this done. Get Roman and Rock, even though it's a legit dream match to so many. Just get that done at 5 a.m. In Australia for a Beeline pay-per-view called PLE called Elimination. Put them at 5 a.m. Just get it done. Get The Rock out of here. Let him have that match. Everybody can watch it over the weekend on replay, on demand. And then just do Cody and Roman because it has to be done. Not because we're intrigued with it. Not because it's fun. No, we're going to do it because it has to be done. He has to finish his story, BEC, is what I'm told. Well, as a Cody supporter, I fail to see it that way. I don't think he's got to finish the story anymore because the story died at 39 next to a rubber chicken. That's the problem. I damn well hope that Cody hoists up that championship one day, no question. But if you expected me to have the same feeling and be gushing over WrestleMania 40 when he holds that title up, no. You'll never get that feeling back from 39. And to just do it doesn't sit well with me at all. And The Rock wants to come back and do this Roman match. And Roman is going to walk away champ anyway, it seems. And if they want to put the belt on Roman or Rock, and then something wild happens the next night where he's got to give that belt up or something, then such is, man. But I truly believe Roman, or at least the plan is, Roman is taking that title and breaking Hogan's record. And if that's the case, Cody was going to lose all the time. So would you still be as pissed? Or would you be okay because at least he got the match? Or when he is flat on his back looking up at the lights and maybe there's 2 or even 3 rubber chickens thrown in the ring at that point, are you going to be pissed off to an amplified level? They did it to Cody again! They had him come up short. HHH is just screwing with him now because it looks like that was the outcome. So this is their out. They want him to break Hulk's record. So The Rock doesn't walk away with the title. It's a no harm, no foul situation. The pro wrestling world is crumbling right now, right? It's in a meltdown mode. Everybody's all worked up. There's wild things being said like, we did it once, we can do it again. The Daniel Bryan situation. I hope they're talking about the Yes movement. That was awesome. I hope they're not talking about when they put Daniel Bryan into a triple threat match with Edge and Roman, because to this day, Daniel Bryan says, Bryan Danielson, he says, I still don't know why I was in that match. It was so damn awkward. He admits that to this day. That was just wrong. He didn't earn it. He did some promos backstage where he was kind of crying about like, oh, he should be in that match. And then fans just were like, it's got to be Daniel, but it's got to be a triple threat. And people like BC, we just wanted to see Edge and Roman one-on-one. That's a really good match to us. And months later, we ended up getting it like Money in the Bank, something like that. One of those B-type show PLEs. And it was good, just like we knew it would be. But it should have been at Mania. But no, Bryan was added to this match, and they just got stacked up. Roman beat them both. Edge and Bryan got stacked up, and fans are like, well, what was that about? I could have told you. Just do Edge and Roman. There was no reason to bring Bryan in there just to get stacked up. I tried to say that. And now there's cries to make this a triple threat. Cody has to be inserted. Cody's story does not have anything to do with Rock and Roman's lifelong story. And Rock doesn't have anything to do with this supposed finish the story with Cody and Roman. So no, keep them apart. Shouldn't be a triple threat. I said that when I told you guys just a few days ago, if they go Cody and Roman, fine. I ain't gonna bitch, I ain't gonna moan about it. I just ask that you keep Rock away and vice versa. Do not put Rock in there as a triple threat. I'm asking the same thing now. Please don't ruin this for those that want to see this. Please don't add Cody Rhodes in there just so what? Roman stacks them both up? There's people saying they're boycotting World Wrestling Entertainment. Some people saying they're boycotting wrestling, period. They're just going to stop watching. Okay, sorry you feel that way. A lot of people are going to end up watching because The Rock is in that match. That's called legit star power. And no matter how big they make Cody, as a supporter that I am, Cody, John Cena, who just admitted this on Logan Paul's show. Paul, so I forgot what is it? Impulsive. Cena said he's on a whole nother stratosphere. And Cena's doing a lot of big productions. And he's like, The Rock is untouchable in Hollywood. I mean, he's in a stratosphere. That's how good he is and how much in demand he is. There's not a Cody Rhodes, a John Cena, nobody on the planet that's touching the star power of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and the eyeballs that he can bring. Nothing. And there's people going, well, that's it. I'm done. This is it. Where was that energy when he was next to the rubber chicken instead of hoisting that title at 30 down? Where was that energy with the booking that was mid-AF for Cody this entire year? Where was that? Monday night when he tells Seth, I'll think about your title proclamation, man. Where was that? That doesn't fit the supposed story that he has this desire to fulfill. Nobody spoke up until finally, they said, doesn't seem to be a buzz about Cody and Roman. It's not big enough. I mean, nobody's even talking about this match. Like they're just saying it has to happen because it has to happen. Nobody's talking about how intriguing it is, and that's HHH with poor creative, by the way. Again, the whole year starts with VKM and it ends up with HHH, and both of them have failed miserably to get people interested enough to see Cody versus Roman. So that's why we're at this point where so many people are happy to see Rock and Roman. But the IW, man, whoa. When they melt down, they melt down. You know? And sometimes, you know, we use those powers for good, like the Bray Wyatt incident, man, when he got beat by Goldberg in Saudi. Damn, you do not do that dude filthy like that. That was miserably filthy. To this day, that's just horrendous on a whole nother level. And then there's times where people say, well, you know what? We need more struggle and adversity. Maybe keep the title on Roman. Don't give it to Cody. And they actually did it last year. And I'm like, whoa, no. That's not using the powers for good. You can't do that. A, Cody's most likely not seeing that title, not in this type of situation again. Not with WWE, not with HHH, for sure. But two, you might have just damaged Cody's booking. People saying he's buried. He's not. He's always going to be a big star. He's positioned that way. He's positioned to be the guy to kind of chum around the mountaintop, but not stand on it. He's on all of everything, guys. He's got the smile. He's on the video games. He's on the posters. He's on the side of the truck. He's going to be that guy. A good face for the company. Right? A top face for the company. But he's not going to be the guy that HHH wants to put the prize on. But I told you that already. 39 was our best chance if everybody really backed Cody and just got the job done. Unfortunately, we got too cute, right? Unfortunately, we bit off more than we can chew. Be careful what you wish for, you just might get it, the old saying. We started getting, we got the match. Well, what if we just waited another year? What if we built Cody up even more, right? It'd be more big, it'd be grander. I said, no, don't play with fire. You're too close to that fire. Don't do it, man, because trust me, HHH will give you that burn. And he'll take that store and he'll burn it into a million pieces. And sure enough, here we are, man. We got too cute. Now when people don't get their way, especially pro wrestling fans, especially the IW, man, it is a meltdown. And I get it, right? These are the same people that said he needed struggle and adversity. So when that happened, they were silent, right? They were sitting back while people like BC were pissed off. How the fuck you gonna have this dude flat on his back looking for the lights? It was his time to win that title. It was Roman's time to get rid of the title, to get that off of his shoulder. And everybody else was sitting back with a bevy. And they were like, I don't know. I mean, I called for this to happen. I think it'll be all right. BC's just got to relax. Give it a year. We'll do it even bigger at 40. And now look, now they didn't get their way. And now those people that were sitting back with a bevy, now they're chucking their bevy at the walls. How can this happen? Screw you, WE. Boycott. Not watching. Burn it to the ground. I get it. You know, we always turn a blind eye if it's working for us, right? We always turn a blind eye if we're getting what we want, right? It's like NASCAR. It's the final lap. Your favorite driver is number 2. He's right behind the leader. It's the last lap. Daytona 500. Your driver, man. He can win if he just gets that one car out of the way. But it's the last lap, unless you bump the dude. So then you start thinking, it's a little dirty, but just give him a little bump. A little bump, right? Usually at Daytona, when you're going those speeds, 200 miles an hour, you're probably going to go into a wall with the slightest of bumps. Right? The bump draft has changed over the years. So your driver gives that leader a bump, and he goes into the wall. Your driver just won the race. Dirty, but he won the race. Everybody else that's not a fan of that driver, they're pissed. That was dirty. How could you? That dude was going to beat you clean. But because you're a fan of that driver, you're like, you got your bevy. You're like, it was a bump, I'll admit. But I mean, you know, it's racing. It's not ballet. So I don't know why everybody's pissed off. You know, that's a hard-earned W. But if you switch the roles, if your favorite driver is the leader, and there's a dude behind you who wants that victory, it's the last lap. Your favorite driver is about to win, and he gets bumped from behind and sent into the wall. That second place driver wins the race. You're pissed, right? That was dirty! Bullshit! He was about to win clean. The only way you won, it was because you got dirty. You bumped him. Son of a bitch. I hope it comes right. I hope California, Sonoma, you get put into the wall. You're pissed off. Same with anything, right? If it goes your way, you're probably going to remain silent. Salute to your favorite, move on. When it doesn't go your way, you're going to get loud about it, right? Go make that noise. You're going to show your displeasure. It's like that in pro wrestling for sure. When wrestling fans get their way, they hide into the corner. You don't hear from them. When they don't, scorched earth, meltdown, boycott. I'm done with WW. But they'll all watch Monday and Friday, and they'll be ordering WrestleMania. Because regardless, Rock and Roman is a match you ain't gonna miss. You're not going to miss that match. Was Cody Rhodes done dirty? No. He was done filthy. But it wasn't just Friday night. He was done filthy last year. Flat on his back, next to a rubber chicken. And then the whole rest of the year, no care was put into getting this guy back to 40 in that same spot. That's the truth. Nobody else will have this type of discussion because most people are on one side of the fence. With BC, I'm a Cody supporter, and I'm definitely down 1,000,000,000% with Rock and Roman. While simultaneously, I want to one day see Cody hoist up that championship. But I know this ain't it. As a big Cody supporter, it just doesn't feel right. It didn't feel big enough. It doesn't feel like the story was a story. You can't just say these same damn words. The same 3 words that was the entire story for 39. You can't sit on it an entire year and do nothing, and then a couple months before Mania, say the same 3 words again and get people like BC to be on board with it. The dude was done filthy, but it was long ago, a year ago, and it was never rectified. And you can blame The Rock all you want, bro. Paul Levesque McMahon made all those decisions beforehand. Vinnie Mac, around 39 as well, was in the weeds with Levesque McMahon, but he took credit for the decision at 39. In the last many months, that's all been Levesque McMahon. Just keep them separated, don't even say a word, don't build the story. Just sit on the story. That's the story. The story is they sat on it. The story is we didn't need to add anything more. A couple months before, everybody will just say, oh, it's Mania season. Everybody pop up like a whack-a-mole. It's time to finish the story. We waited a year for this. And now there's a meltdown in the community because the narrative is he's got to finish the story. I get it. I get it, man. I see how easy that narrative is. And there's been this push the last 10 years of just getting rid of part-timers, period. I mean, the legends get no respect, and probably because they say they come back too often. I'll tell you this. I'll take Stone Cold. I'll take him coming back 3 times a year because most talents just don't have charisma. They suck the charisma out of every room they walk into. Charisma vacuums. They don't have personality, a lot of these wrestlers. I'll take Stone Cold 3 times a year. I'll take The Rock whenever I can get him. There's 16 matches at WrestleMania this year. 16. 8 on each night, roughly. You're going to blame The Rock and maybe another 1 or 2, maybe part-timers. Maybe it's just The Rock. Logan Paul obviously will be one, and maybe one of. You're going to blame the fact that we're even just calling Rock a part-timer. And just talking about this dude like he's some Danny Dipshit Dugenheimer from the local bingo hall. Luigi Lugnuts, the local pizza delivery guy. Man, today's wrestling fan. I know it's a microwave society, and I know that today's wrestling fan doesn't have a lot of love for wrestling in the past. Sami Zayn just cut a promo after SmackDown. All we gotta hear as performers is how about the good old days, the good old days, the good old days. Well, guess what? The good old days are now. We are the ones. But I noticed a trend. These wrestlers today, they're constantly trying to promote themselves as the best era ever. Every press conference after a WWE PLE, they're trying to convince everybody that this is the best era in pro wrestling. No, having a bunch of baby faces is a good start. That doesn't make it the best era. Stop. Forget the Attitude Era. You're not even beating the Golden Era, late 80s into the 90s. Everybody just wants to gas up their current position instead of just doing the work and letting the fans, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, the fans will tell you that you are the best era ever or one of the greatest. Or business is booming and not just financially. My boy Cody was done filthy, but it was a year ago. Stop acting like Friday night is that much of a shock. Stop with the fake outrage. Cody done dirty and buried. No, he was done filthy, but far from buried. He's one of the top faces in the company. They sell and market this dude to all the kids and all the families that buy those tickets to scream, "Oh!" at live events. He's not going anywhere from that top spot. Top of the mountain? Yeah, that could be a different story. But nobody was speaking up this entire year. Now they're speaking up. Now the outrage is there. How dare the evil part-timer came back? That grimy son of a bitch. It's Cody's time. For the second time in 2 years. This is why we should not overcomplicate things as pro wrestling fans. Last year, Cody versus Roman. Read the room. It was Cody's time to get that title because it was Roman's time to lose it. And we tried to get too cute. Come to think of it, what if we just don't do it? What if we just have Roman keep the title for a year? I know he's going on vacation for the entire year, basically, but have him take the title. Maybe we'll build Cody up a little. We'll do it next year. I just don't feel like Cody's doing struggle and adversity enough. Half his body purple and blue in Hell in a Cell, that's not enough. Feeling like he has to leave the company, start a whole new company because he was undesired in WWE the first time around, that's not struggle and adversity. I need to see him take on Judgment Day 70 times. Yeah, that's it. Judgment Day, the whole year. And then I can say, it's time. We got too cute. I tried to tell you guys. I wasn't shocked at all with what happened at Friday. As a Cody supporter, I could have told you. Did I know it was going to work out exactly like that? Of course not. Do I agree with you guys that it should have been done a hell of a lot differently? No question. Does Cody look stupid? No question. He has! He was laying next to a rubber chicken! Nobody wants to talk about it. They had him lose last year when the world knew he had to win. The rubber chicken was the wrestling gods, man. Just like this fits. This is symbolic. And now he looks stupid to you? Because he claimed he wants Roman, and then he all of a sudden says, well, I'm going to think about your title though, Seth. And then he says, well, Rock knows him better. So I'm going to give my WrestleMania spot up to The Rock. Now he looks stupid he hasn't looked stupid to you the entire year? Because as a Cody supporter, I can tell you, he damn sure did. And of course, they're going to milk this into a story. You could easily do it. Cody Rhodes is going to say, well, after long talks with The Rock, he knows that the same thing's going to happen at 40. He's not going to take away that title. Roman has this plan. He's got it on lockdown. You're just going to waste another opportunity. Hold that. Let me take care of this because I got to take care of other things as well. And then when I even it all up, it'll be a fair fight for you and Roman. That's the story sitting in their lap. the meltdown and the craziness and the lack of respect for somebody like Rocky, man. I tell you, he's in it for himself and the money. He should come back and just put people over. Man, thank goodness you guys aren't in business. Thank goodness. The business would fold in 24 hours. That's just not what I mean, do people listen to themselves? Professional wrestling is not a hunky-dory Starbucks shop where everybody gets along. Hey, Sally, what's up, Sue? Hey, is John in today? Hey, Billy, you're on at 5? Man, you're taking the early shift. I think Paul switched to 6. I can't wait to see him. It's his birthday. I got him a cake. Everybody's all hunky-dory. It's not always like that. It's a business, man. I'm not happy at all with what happened with Cody since a year ago. But to say that Friday night was the straw that broke the camel's back, I'd be lying to you because I'm not stupid like that. I've been seeing this from the jump. I've been telling my audience from the jump out of the gate. I've been telling you what is going to happen. Any one of my subscribers will tell you that. I've been trying to tell everybody. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody's in their hunky-dory world with listening to other podcasters talk about how this is all how it's all going to map out, guys. This is how it's going to go, okay? Ready, break. Everyone's in la-la land while BC's over here having a freaking hot beverage, a hot coffee, and just talking real with you. I'm talking real with you, so we're all ready for what transpires on these shows and not shocked, no matter how bad or how good. We're ready for it. And then we get to talk about if this is good or not. What happened Friday night? That was a culmination of a lot of things beforehand. Before you just blame The Rock, I hope you're also putting a ton of blame on HHH. I hope that you're putting a ton of blame on things that have happened dating back to 39. I hope you're really seeing clearer. This didn't just fall down to a Friday night where The Rock on Wednesday or Thursday morning said, I changed my mind. I want to wrestle. I'm taking Cody's spot. You're not that naive, right? You know there's a lot more moving parts, right? And no matter what, when Endeavor says this is what we want, they paid billions of dollars for that. Until you pay billions of dollars for World Wrestling Entertainment, you can have all the meltdowns you want. It won't make a damn of a difference. They spent billions of dollars on that shit. Yeah. Guys, much love and respect. It's a discussion we'll keep having, unfortunately, for the next 9 weeks instead of just relaxing and enjoying this mega dream match. But no, we are going to cry for Cody Rhodes. And in the process, you're just going to make the dude more popular. So that's cool with BC because, again, big supporter. 37 times in this video. So that's cool. But the mountaintop, I don't know. Remains to be seen, dude. That's what I got for you guys. We'll keep up on it. Until next time, there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC saying check it. For all, by the way, I don't have the current list, but there was a lot of coffees chucked to the channel via super thanks, super chats over the last couple of uploads, especially the last one, the SmackDown review. I appreciate you guys big time, man. There was a lot of coffees chucked, and I don't have the current list on me, but I checked them all out. I appreciate that very much. And I appreciate more than anything that you guys enjoy and are captivated by this discussion, these discussions, and you understand, what we're really talking about, and it's, you guys are not just ready to spit out your opinion. You're actually listening, and it makes sense, and that way we can make it better going forward for this company, those wrestlers. But that only happens when we truly understand why things happened in the first place. And I feel on that SmackDown review, you guys really it was just a good discussion. So that when you get feedback afterwards, it's good feedback, and you can tell people are not just spitting out their opinion. That's what we need more of. like honest, like thought-provoking conversation, discussion that is actually going to lead to something big, something better, and real change. Fortunately, there isn't discussions like that anymore, sadly. Anyway, guys, that's it. Top Guys, we're out. BC saying check you. Peace.